Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to see two topics, text properties and box model. So here the main objective of text properties is we are going to see different ways of styling the text. Okay, there are n properties are available which we could utilize to change the display of our text in the browser. Okay, then one more thing we are going to see is using the Google fonts. Okay, apart from CSS availing the fonts, we are going to get it from the online. Okay, so Google also provides different varieties of fonts which we could include in our web page. Okay, so one demo regarding that I'll take you to that, and finally about the box model we are going to discuss it. Okay, uh, so today the text properties, so what it says is it's all about displaying the text in different varieties of properties available, okay, in CSS, like color, space, font style, font size, so n number of things we are going to see it. Okay, the first thing is we are going to see about font family. Okay, so font family is nothing but the collection of related fonts. So as I think in our day-to-day life we are using different font, is it not? So okay, so each and every font, Times New Roman, Palatino, Caliber, Arial, so n number of fonts are available. So when we work out in Office package, so each and every character display is different, its size, weight, totally it is different. So here there is an image given. Okay, so what it says is here each and every character is occupying a each and every character is represented in a rectangular character cell, is it not? So you could visualize it, each and every character in this display is occupying a rectangular cell. Okay, this we are saying as a glyph, each and every character cell content we are saying as a glyph in general. Okay, so each character has something called as an Unicode standard code point that when we display it, its visual representation will be like this. Okay, so this is nothing but each character is nothing but a glyph. Okay, so we are going to see the how to include font families in our HTML. Okay, so via CSS. Okay, so here we have the property named as font family. Okay, so using this font family we can have the values. Okay, so we can have one or more fonts, okay, that could be included in our styling, or we could inherit from the ancestor element also. Okay, and by default if we don't mention any font family, means it depends on the browser, the browser will pick up a font for the user. Okay, and the font family, this property is available, it is applied to all the elements. All elements means all HTML elements, this is applied. Okay, and of course inheritance is allowed in this font family. It means if a body has some font family, and within that body if we have some elements like paragraph heading, means those things by default will be inherited by the font family, whatever we have mentioned in the body. Okay, these are some of the examples of font values. Okay, so Arial, Courier, Monospace, so a number of choices are there which we need to get to know what are all the available fonts. Okay, so the font we need to mention it within double quotes with one exception called as generic font family. Okay, so CSS allows generic font families like serif, sans serif, cursive, fantasy, monospace. Those things we don't want to mention it in the double quotation. Apart from this generic font family, the other fonts we need to mention within the double quotation, and the here choice 1, 2, 3 it's given. No, so if this font what we have mentioned is Trebuchet MS, I think I have pronounced it rightly. This if a browser supports this font, means this font gets displayed. If our browser doesn't support, or if the browser have no font of this style, no font of this one, means it will take the second choice, the third choice, likewise it goes on. Okay, so we could mention more than one font So see here, so here TT element takes the two font family, Courier and Monospace. So it means Courier. So Courier is the first choice. Okay, so if the Courier is not supported, means it will go for Monospace font. Okay. So and apart from font family, we have the font size. We could mention the size of the font, okay, using different identifiers we have. Okay, so see here we have the identifiers like inch, centimeter, millimeter, point. So point is nothing but 1 by 72 part of inch, and PC is pica, 12 point is said to be 1 PC. Then pixels, okay, and these comes under the category called as absolute units. So it means we need to specify the absolute values: 1.1 inch, 2 centimeter, 0.5 millimeter, so 2 points, 5 pixels, 3 PC. So likewise we need to specify the values, whereas the last two, EM and EX, these are relative units. Relative units in the sense it depends on the it depends on the previous value. Okay, so I'll take you ephemeral unit to the explanation of this to the next slide. And ex is nothing but so it's roughly the height of the lowercase x character. Okay, so the size of the font will take the size of the font size will take the size of lowercase x. Okay, it's up to the designer of this font who gave the definition like this. Okay, so here is some of the example for font size in different units. Font size, you can pick up any of these choices. Okay, font size is 0.5 inch, here it is 12 point. Okay, so apart from 0, okay, font size 0 means no need to have this unit values. Okay, except 0, all the remaining font size will need an identifiers like inch, centimeter, millimeter, PC, PT, PX, like that. Okay, so here comes ephemeral unit. Okay, so before that take the look of this diagram. So length specifications, if we want to display a glyph, this is a glyph, single character content. Okay, so it is displayed in a rectangular box. In the rectangular box it is not displaying at the bottom. Okay, there is something called as a baseline. Okay, so from the baseline only it will start displaying it, and from baseline to below the rectangular box there is a space, is it not? So it means what, the see here there is a space between these two lines, is it not? So this is how the image the character gets rendered. Okay, so here different terminologies are used. Okay, so the character here the whole size is said to be the cell height, and this is cell bottom, the baseline where the character sits, and this height is said to be EM height, and this is said to be EX height. Okay, so I'll take you what EM height is. Okay, so EM is nothing but ephemeral unit. Okay, I think I pronounced it rightly. Ephemeral unit, okay, which is related to the current font size. What does it mean? So take an example. If we are styling the body font size to be 16 pixel, what does it mean? Within the body, whatever the elements are there, HTML elements, everything will take the font size as 16 pixels. That's the meaning. And within the body, if I have a paragraph font size as 0.75 em, okay, I am mentioning paragraph font size as 0.75 em. What does it mean? The size of the paragraph will be 0.75 times of the body. That's the meaning of ephemeral. So related to its parent value. Okay, so parent value is nothing but 16 pixels. 16 pixels, in 16 pixels take only 3/4 of it. That's the meaning of EM. Okay, so 0.75 into 16 is 12 pixels is the size of the paragraph font. Okay, font size of paragraph is 12 pixels. So here comes the meaning of EM. So EM is nothing but it is related to the current font size. So currently the its paragraph font is of 16 pixels. Okay, so but we have overridden this 16 pixel by mentioning the font size for the paragraph as 0.75 em. So it is related to this value is related to its parent value. Okay, so take the parent value and have it as 3/4 of that parent value. That's the meaning. Okay, and ex is nothing but the height of the lowercase character x, is it not? So it's up to the font designer who gave the definition for ex as this is the height. Okay, height of this much height display of font. Okay. That's it about length specification, and moving on to different ways of specifying the font size. Okay, so far we have seen font size in terms of absolute values and relative values. Apart from that, we have some other options also. Font size of 85%. It means it will take the 85% of the parent font size. Okay, and apart from that, we have absolute size keywords and relative size keywords. So here the font size will be, so we have seen length unit so far, and percentage option is also there. Apart from that, these are the relative absolute keyword size. Okay, absolute size keywords, these are all the keywords: XX, hyphen, small, extra small, small, medium, large, likewise it will take. Okay, so then relative size means smaller and larger. Okay, this smaller and larger, smaller, these are related to the ancestor, related to the parent value. Okay, so related to parent font size, its value depends. Okay, these are XX, small, x small, small, and all relate absolute size. Okay, each and every every value have its own size, whereas smaller and larger, it depends on the parent size. Okay, and more about font style. Okay, so font style, this is one property whose values will be either one of these three: normal, this is the default case, or italic, we can mention it separately, or oblique. Okay, italic is cursive than normal, whereas oblique is more slanted than normal. Then font weight could be either the bold or normal. Okay, so bold means it's displayed in bold format, normal in the sense these texts are in normal, not bolded. Then font variant, so font variant will take two values, either small caps or normal. Small caps means so small uppercase glyphs. Okay, so it is used to display lowercase characters using uppercase glyphs. Okay, so each and everything you go and explore, then only the things will get into your mind deeply. Okay, just reading and going won't help you. So take each practice it. So apply the font style to be normal and visualize its output. Then apply the font style to be italic and go and visualize it. Each and everything, just you explore it. Okay, and moving on to line boxes. So it's nothing but an imaginary box. Okay, line box is nothing but when displaying our paragraph, here take an example as paragraph element. So it runs more than 2 or 3 lines paragraph, suppose, if you assume like that. So an imaginary box will be drawn for each and every line. Okay, so here after that we could change the distance between the two lines. Okay, using the property, CSS property called as line height. So line height is normally used to set the distance between the lines of text. Okay, so this is one more property available to change the distance between the lines of the content which we are displaying by taking different formats. The line height will take different varieties of values like normal, absolute value, relative, the percentage, and unit values, or of course it could be inherited from its ancestor or the parent. And apart from that, we have a shortcut for fonts. Okay, so generally font will have these many 6 properties. Okay, so font style, font variant, font weight, font size, line height, and font family. So to we could specify all these 6 like this individually, or in a shortcut manner just use the property name as font. Okay, font to be italic. Here font colon italic, the style is italic, and here it's normal, so font variant is normal, so the default value is missed out here. And font weight is bold, font size is 12 point, and line height is normal, so that gets skipped here. And this is the font family. Okay, so in a single in one go we could mention like this, or else we could have an option of mentioning like this also. Okay, and one more way, so apart from default value, if we want to give the line height, means there is a little different way to mention the line height. Okay, line height will be mentioned something like this: immediately after the font size, 12 point is the font size, followed by slash and the value of the line height. In this way we have to give it in the shorthand representation of font. So this is font is nothing but here the shorthand shortcut property for this 6 different property names. Okay, so only thing it gets differed is, so while mentioning the line height using the shortcut property font, we need to have little we need to have little representation like this: immediately after the font size, use the slash and give the line height value like this. Or if you opt to have individual representation, means you can choose this way also. Okay, and one more point you need to make while using the shortcut font property. So if you are mentioning any of these 3 value, means that should appear first before font size. Okay, so we can mix up we can mix all these 6 fonts, but it should be in order, like we can have font variant, font style, font weight. So these 3 could be mixed up in any order, but if we are mentioning any one of these property, means it should appear first before the font size. Okay, so it must appear, all these 3 property must appear before font size. Okay, if we are mentioning any one of the value, means. Okay, so after font size we should not have the font weight to be bold. Okay, that thing you have to make a note while applying shortcut for font property. And text formatting and color. Okay, color I think I have covered already. Even then also I'll take a quick recap on that color. So before that, looking onto text formatting. Okay, so we have a number of properties like text decoration, text decoration. It takes one of these values: none, underline, overline, line through, or space separated list. Okay, this, word spacing and line spacing, it says about the space between the letters or space between the words, how many values we need to represent, those things: line spacing, word spacing. Text transform. Okay, so I think you will be knowing it: none, capitalize, uppercase and lowercase. Text intent in the sense the first line. Okay, how much space we need to give at the start of the first line. Usually when we start a paragraph, we will give some 4 or 5 spaces, and we will be starting from here, and the paragraph runs like this. Okay, that's the text intent. Text intent means how many spaces we have to give at the start of the first line. And this is just a text. I think it is a hider. 2 more things, I think. Text justification, I think. So justify, left, right, center, justified. Okay, so I think you will be knowing the meaning for it. Okay, so the text will be aligned from left side or the right side. Justification means both left and right will be having the text will get displayed. Or center means we'll be aligning it to the center. And this is all about this property is about white space. Normal, initial value is normal or pre-formatter. So what it says, that white space means it is used to indicate whether or not white space should be retained. I told you by default it won't be retained. Whatever the number of spaces we are giving, the browser will trim all those white spaces and affix only one single space. Or else we can go for utilizing the pre-formatted tag. Okay, element pre. Okay, I think we have seen a demo also for this element. So this white space, this property speaks about the whether the white space should be retained or not. Okay, so I'll give you a few examples on text decorations. Overline means there will be a line drawn on top of that sentence, line through, this is the output, underline means here is the output. We can have more than one text decorations. Okay, here the H4 is decorated like underline and overline like this. And spacing, so letter spacing and word spacing is there. So here the example is given for letter spacing. Spacing in the sense, letter spacing means the spacing between the letters. Okay, so I think you could visualize see the outputs. Okay, there are spaces between the letters. Okay, so letter spacing here -1 means there will be no space between the letters, that's it. Even -2, -3, whatever you give, so it won't be merged inside, the space will be completely removed between the characters. Okay, and colors I think we have discussed already. Anyway, I'll go for a little recap. So we can have the color property and its color name. Okay, so it's tough to remember the color names, is it not? So only the basic colors we could remember. So this way we could have the built-in color values, or we could go for specifying the hexadecimal representation by prefixing hash symbol, and each and every value will range from 0 to F. Okay, so its output is displayed over here, or RGB. Okay, so 3 channels, red, green and blue, each one will take the value from 0 to 255. so this combination also it will work. Okay, so here RGB, so green, red and blue is null, so 255 complete green, so that's what we are getting the green. I am a big scary H1. And H2, here what we have did, red and blue combination is 100, so that it turns to be, I think it's purple. And this combination, so red, green, blue is dominant, so that's what we are getting blue color with a little combination of red and green. Okay, and one more I have already covered about RGBA. Okay, it's alpha, so how transparent the display should be. Okay, so it takes the value between 0.02, this is not minus. Okay, 0.0 to 1.0. Okay, so 1.0 or 1 means the complete as it is the value. Okay, so here take this example, H1 is colored like RGBA 1199 150 comma 1, so its opacity is 1. It means whatever the color, the combination of 1199 150 we will get, that gets displayed here. And H2 is of 0.6. Okay, so in this combinations get more than 50% as transparency, so you could differentiate the display. Okay, this is blue color and this is little transparent to blue, and the third one H3 is of 0.2. it's completely like pale. Okay, whitish in color. See here, I'm just a little H3, it is its opacity is 0.2, its transparency, that's the meaning, transparency is 0.2. Okay, so to learn more about colors you could visit these sites. Okay, it's quite interesting, so you please explore these 2 sites. And checking, I'll take you to Google Fonts. Okay, though it is not in your syllabus, you have to get to know how to include Google Fonts. Okay, so Google also provides wide varieties of fonts apart from CSS. Those fonts also we can include in our web page while designing it. Okay, so go to fonts.google.com. okay, I'll take you to a little demo. Okay, just fonts.google.com, or type in the Google Fonts, go to the Google Fonts, and you need to remember the font names, that's the thing. Okay, so here I'll give you one font name. Okay, in the search. Okay, so I keep on typing it before telling. So in the search box just type the font name. Okay, so I'm giving there is a font called as Railway. Okay, so just enter. So see here, Railway, it's displaying. So under Railway also Google provides different varieties. Okay, so the Railway, this is the thin 100 italic. I think you could differentiate the fonts over here. Okay, you can pick anyone, so I'm picking this one. So to pick this one I need to select this style. Okay, so this gets selected. Okay, if you go to embed, we will get the link to embed in our HTML file, and also the CSS property. Okay, we can have more than one font to be included. Okay, so to browse more fonts from the Google, so go for browse fonts and go and pick the other font. I'm going to give one more font as Indie Flower. There is that font called as Indie Flower. Okay, and what regular 400 only one style is available, so select this style. See here, it gets automatically updated. Okay, so what you need to do after selecting all the font is just copy paste, that's it. Okay, copy this link and paste it in the head section of the HTML file. Okay, and copy this in this and paste it in the CSS file. That's it, nothing new apart from this. Okay, so I'll take you I think here I think it's you can see a simple program, HTML program. What I did, so I have included in the header section, I have copied and included the railway and Indie Flower. Okay, and the font CSS font, I'm giving it using this style element. So do you able to remember, we can include we can style our HTML using the style element also. So apart from taking apart from having it in a separate file, but separate file is the recommended one, don't use this style element, but for simplicity I am using this within the head section. I am styling it. Just copy it and paste it inside this style, that's it. Okay, so font family, so I am giving this style. Okay, Indie Flower for paragraph and H1, okay, for railway. Okay, and in the body I have the paragraph, 2 paragraphs and 1 H1. Okay, see here it's displayed. H1 is displayed in which font? Railway, and this is nothing but the Indie Flower font. Okay, so go and explore, it's quite interesting. So just don't keep on listening. Okay, you have to practice, then only it will be familiar for you. Okay, so I hope you understood how to include Google Fonts in your HTML file. Okay, and now moving on to the other topic, box model. Okay, so box model, before explaining you, I'll take you to the simple demo, then only you will able to get it. Okay, what box model is. Okay, here is one program, just so there is a program I have written it, okay, just I am going to inspect it. Okay, inspect. See here, so while inspecting I have its display box model. This is said to be box model. So what it says is, so how to display the content. Okay, so box model is nothing but so in a document, each element is represented in a rectangular box. Okay, each and every HTML element. Okay, so while displaying it in the while displaying it in the browser, so how it gets displayed means it is represented by means of the rectangular box. Okay, and in CSS each rectangular box have some standard box model. Okay, so that one we are going to discuss it today. Okay, so each box has 4 edges. Okay, so the margin, border, padding and content. Okay, so I'll take you here. See here, this one. Okay, this part is nothing but the content. Okay, the blue color, I think. So this is the margin, border, padding, and this is the content. I'll explain one by one. Okay, so since this is new for you, it may be little confusing. No problem, just listen carefully, that will make you very clear. Okay, so suppose take here is on display given here. Here there is an content called as element. In the in element we have the four sides with some spaces between left, right, bottom, and in top there is a little more space, and we have one border, and apart from border we have some spaces. Okay, so what it says is, here the elements, this is one text content, it is displayed in here 330 by 52 it's given, no. So here that's the element area, and followed by around we have the padding means space around the element. Okay, so left, right, top and bottom we have the spaces, and followed by the padding there is a border. Okay, so I think the border is visualized for you, and apart from the border at the top we have the margin. So after border we have the margin, the space to be occupied after the border. Okay, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so here a detailed explanation of that four edges I am going to say. So here the center part, the core part is the content. Surround the content we have the padding. Okay, so padding the space between the border and the content. Okay, so we have padding hyphen top. We can modify the values. Okay, that's what using the property called as padding hyphen top. Okay, so this one then padding hyphen right, padding hyphen bottom, padding hyphen left, and after padding we have the border. So border we have to give the property name as border hyphen top hyphen width, border hyphen right width, border bottom width, border left width, and surrounding that border is the margin top, right, bottom and left. Okay, so the overall everything is said to be the box height and box width. This is the box width and this is the box height. Okay, and how to include it in our CSS. Okay, so we can fix we can make changes in these spaces. Okay, so using the properties, these properties. Okay, so simply you can go for padding. Okay, padding 20 means all four sides, top and bottom, left and right will take 20 pixels, or specifically or individually we can give padding top to be one value, padding right, padding bottom, padding left to be of different values. Similarly for border. Okay, so border width. Okay, to be border top width, bottom width, left width, right width likewise we could give, or simply border width. Okay, and border colors, then we have border style in this way. Then margin simply margin 20 means all four sides will occupy 20 pixels, or specifically if you give margin hyphen top means top alone will get the 20 pixels. Okay, so code to demonstrate, I will take you the same code. Okay, so here this one what I did here, HTML file is there a link. Okay, I am having a style, I have styled I have CSS style in separate file called as style.css, and in the body I have paragraph, two paragraphs, I am a paragraph. Okay, so let's go and see what's inside that style. So style, so paragraph, I am styling something for the paragraph. Take a closer look. With this 50%. Okay, so I'll take you to the demo. So here let me close this. So with this 50%, it means this border is not running to the whole browser area. It is divided into with this 50%. Okay, and border, so border for the paragraph is 2 pixels. It's a shortcut way of giving the border. Okay, so in the later slides I'll give the explanation for this. So border here 2 pixels of border size, and that should be of solid. Solid means continuous blue in color. Okay, this one, so this line is of 2 pixel and this is of continuous solid, that's what the meaning solid, and this is blue in color, the border is blue in color, and padding left is 40 pixels. So this is the meaning. Okay, padding left is 40 pixels. Let me inspect. See here the numbers are given here properly. Okay, here the paragraph IMM paragraph is of 444 into 18, and here the green color, this is the padding. So padding left is only 40 pixels, there is no padding in the here. This is top, this is left and bottom, there is no padding. And next is this one. Okay, see the difference in the display over here. So this is border. So border, all the four sides is of 2 pixels. Why 2 pixels? Because I have given border is 2 pixels, padding left is 40 pixels. Okay, and coming to next here, the space between the space after the border. Okay, apart from this, this is the margin. Okay, so margin what? So margin top and bottom to be 50 and left and right is of 20. Okay, so see here, so margin 50 pixels, 20 pixels. This is the shortcut way. So 50 pixels for both top and bottom, this 20 pixels for left and right. Okay, I hope you are following with me. It's quite interesting, and you change some of the values over here and see how it executes. Okay, move back to our presentation and see here, there are shortcut ways the code utilizes, is it not? So I'll take you there. Okay, so we can have the shortcut ways. So like only one value we could mention, 2, 3, 4. So there are different meanings. Okay, so see here, padding 30 pixels. So what does it mean? I haven't given here as padding hyphen top 30 pixels, padding hyphen bottom 30 pixels. I haven't given. So this is the shortcut way to give all the four sides. So this is equal to this one, padding top, right, bottom, left, all will take 30 pixels. So instead of repeating like this, use the shorthand notation like this. Okay, this is one value, assigning one value, then two values. Two values means what's happening, top and bottom property will take this one and left and right will take this 15 pixels. That's the meaning. Okay, so first one will be the top and bottom 20 pixels of border width, and this is left and right border width, these of 15 pixels. Okay, what happens to giving 3? So 3 means first assign first value to associated top property. This is the top is 10 pixels and right and left is 20 pixels and this is 40 pixels. That's the meaning. So when we have the shortcut representation for 3 values. Okay, and 4 means we can mention top followed by right, then bottom, then left. So in this order we need to follow. If I have 20 pixels if I have border width as 20 pixels comma 20 pixels comma 15 pixels comma 15 pixels, what does it mean? First 20 pixel is for the top, second 20 pixel is for the right, and third 15 pixel is for the bottom, and fourth 15 pixel is for the left. Okay, so this is the shorthand representation of giving the values. Yeah, one more in the demo version, there is a shortcut way of giving the border different properties. Okay, so the border is the shorthand property for these 3 individual properties like border width. Okay, so border width is 5 pixel. Okay, so instead of giving border width colon 5 pixel, so you could go for using border, similar to font we have seen. No? So border colon, so for 5 pixel it represents the border width, and style. Border style takes any one of these values, dot, slash, dash, dotted, solid, double, groove, hidden, in lot of things are there. You go and explore by changing the solid to be dashed, dotted, double, like that. Okay, and color, border color you could give like this. Okay, all the 3 properties could be given in the shorthand representation using this border property. Okay, so here in this example the paragraph border should be of 5 pixel solid red. That's what its output is, like this. This is the paragraph, its border is of a red in color, that to 5 pixel thickness, and it is continuous. Okay, solid means continuous border. Okay, and similarly what happens if multiple declarations apply to a property like this? Okay, if you have a look on this CSS, border is 15 pixels solid, okay. Then border left is 30 pixel, its style is inset and color is red. What happens, 2 times the left has assigned the value. So here border means all the 4 sides will take 15, but specifically in the next line border left is 30 pixels. So what happens, the left border 30 pixels wide, this will be applied, okay. The latest one, the last declaration will override the earlier declaration as border left 15, okay. In the first line it says border left as 15, but that gets overridden here, okay. So border left is now 30 pixels, remaining border right, bottom and top will have the 15 pixels, okay. And inset, so only the border left will have the inset, whereas the remaining 3 sides will have the solid, okay. And here color also changed to blue, okay. So you please explore all those things, okay, then only it will be familiarized for you. Otherwise just learning, listening doesn't work for web technology. So you have to work it out, each and every property, change it and explore what's happening, okay. Each and every property, give one value, look at its output and change that property value again to another value and explore it, okay. And one final note about background colors and image, which I have discussed earlier, I think, okay. So background color we could give using this predefined color names or the hexadecimal representation, different RGB combinations we can give, okay. And one more about background image, okay. So I think we have discussed the syntax for background image, okay. So background image colon URL and that location we need to give, okay. So here one point you need to make a note is this function uses the tiled concept, okay. So tiled means if an image is too small to cover the element, means either from the left to right or from bottom to top to bottom, the image is repeated, okay. See here the image is too small, so in this output the image is repeated 4 times, is it not? So this concept is said to be tiling. Tiling means if the image is too small, means that will spread out, the image will be repeated over the element, okay. So if it is of body, means the entire body will cover this image, okay. So for that we need to, if we don't want to repeat the image, means we have to change the background property to be no repeat, okay. I think we have discussed already, just to have a quick recap on that, okay. The term previously I have discussed, I missed out this tiling term. So tiling is simply nothing but the image is repeated if the given image is of too small to cover the element, okay. And both background color and background images are not inherited. So please make a note, final note, okay. Background image is not inherited and also background color is also not inherited, okay. With this our today's topic is over. So based on the thing we have discussed, I have given one little exercise, okay. So design this structure for tic-tac-toe problem, okay. So there is a game, I think you will be familiar with that game, tic-tac-toe. So for this just have the simple structure, create a structure like this, okay. So here you have to give the border left to be no line is drawn and the top also, okay. So you just try yourself, and for this solution I have a solution over here. I'll discuss the solution in the next class, okay. So before that you give a try, okay. Let me see how many are coming up with the solutions, okay. So anyway I'm going to discuss its solution in the next session, okay. So that's it about today's topic. I hope you understood a lot about applying CSS to text properties. Different properties we have seen about font size, font family, then font variants, and number of things we have discussed, line height, then shortcut for font, followed by box model, okay. So each and every element, HTML element, is represented in a rectangular box. So using CSS we could make changes in those box model, okay. So 4 properties are applied in that box model, okay. So the content is surrounded by the padding, border, then margin. So a lot of things we have discussed. You just practice it and I will meet you in the next class. Till then, thank you all.